Hi guys, welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane and we are standing in Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, and today we are going to look at an incredible over 300 square meter luxurious house on the top of Tbilisi that is overlooking the entire city. It's absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like this, so let's go and have a look. Come on. So we are already standing in the ground floor, and this house actually consists of 3 different floors and multiple buildings, but I will get into that later. The ground floor consists of a very open and large floor plan. And as soon as you enter, you are just basically exposed to this first living room area that we have today. Now, the owner built this house with the help of an architect for himself, but he's only here during the summer months where it's a bit warmer in Georgia. And the house took around 4.5 years to build, which is incredible. And it was finished around 1.5 years ago. And this is why everything just seems incredibly new and modern. And as soon as you enter, you just can't help but see this incredible staircase that takes you up through the floors, and it almost seems kind of like a light well because the stairs are covered in white quartz, and the entire staircase, even though it's massive, is meant and has been designed to create this impression that it is floating and that it is a very lightweight but at the same time monumental design. And so when you enter the house, you can't just immediately go upstairs, but you actually need to go one time completely around the staircase and under it, and only then you can actually go up the stairs. And I think that this is a very interesting move. I don't know if it sometimes gets stressful if you just quickly want to go up, but you just need to go around, but it definitely makes an entry and just leaves an impression. And these stairs really floatingly connect the different spaces and the different etages with each other. And I think on this floor you can again see the crazy amount of space that the staircase takes up. I believe it almost takes up almost half of the house, which is insane. Here is the actual open living room area. This is my favorite room of all, I think, because it is just flooded with light. Also, please double check if you've actually subscribed to the channel, because that's the easiest and best way you can help us grow and see more incredible design every single week. And if you want, of course, like this video, and if you want more designer stories, check out our Instagram or subscribe to our newsletter, where we take you behind the scenes and show you a lot of different designer stories you won't find anywhere else. This wall over here that connects us to the pool and to the garden is completely covered in glass, and it just creates this very modernist design. And also on this wall up here, we have this very sleek window that just also really beautifully frames this wall. And this is also a detail that you really see in all of these Bauhaus styles. This one is a bit more modern, but I just really like it. So you can see that you can just really feel this really vast sense of space. So in this side, we have a large kitchen counter that drapes itself around a big table, and the table is made from beautiful marble, and you can see that there is a very modern and sleek design that prevails. Both the dining room table as well as the kitchen counter is made from a sepia stone, dark Marquina from Italy, and this just creates a very holistic and cohesive design. I think my favorite designer piece, or actually I have 2 inside this living room, is this gorgeous chair by Platna that was made for Knoll. It is a 60s design, and it just has this very iconic shape, and I absolutely love putting exactly these chairs like on both sides of the table, because it just creates this very incredible design. And like I always say, I love it when you don't just use one type of chairs, but multiple ones. It's time for our color palette analysis of this incredible space. So this space is built around a very restrained and neutral color palette. At its core, everything revolves around concrete gray, soft whites, and beautiful different shades of wood. The concrete ceiling gives the space honesty and a sense of rawness, And the white walls keep the entire color palette clean and the space livable, so it doesn't feel like the space is actually collapsing on top of you. And of course, the wooden floors bring warmth to the design. The color palette here is intentionally muted, and instead of color contrasts, we actually have material contrasts here, which I think is super interesting. And the furniture also stays within this very calm range. Now, if we take a look at these colors in the color wheel, we can see that all of them stay very close to the center, meaning that they are all very light, calmer, and softer hues of these colors. And this is exactly why it feels calm, balanced, and not visually loud at all. And if you want to avoid the 5 mistakes that 90% of people make when it comes to color, I've created a free guide just for you that also shows them how to fix it. Go get it right now because it won't be free forever. You can get it either by clicking the link in the description or by scanning this QR code over here, by taking out your phone, opening the camera app, pointing it at the QR code, and it will just redirect you directly to the guide. Over here, we actually have an Eames lounge chair in brown, which is super incredible. And this is also an incredible artwork that just creates all of this depth and color and just adds a lot of movement and motion to the entire design. My favorite piece of furniture in this apartment is located in this living room area. So the sofa, as well as both of the sofa tables, have actually been commissioned by Georgian designers exactly for this area, so that they just suited very well. And I really love the subtle shifts from blue to green tones that we have in this design. And here we have the incredible shell chair by Hans Wegner, and it is one of my all-time favorite designs because it is just so iconic. Now, there's a lot I could show you. So let's first go outside. So through this large glass door, we can come outside. And over here we have a little garden with a pool. This just like brutalist cement design of the building that is very modern. And you might be wondering what is above the pool. And this is actually where the crazy thing is happening that I hinted at the beginning. So this house doesn't just consist of one house, but actually there's 2 houses. So there's one to this side and one to the other side. And both of them are connected via this bridge that drapes itself above the pool. And this part of the house is where all of the larger primary bedrooms are located. So let me take you to them and show you. What I really like is that even though this house is fairly modern and has just been finished 1.5 years ago, it still has all of these really industrial touches. And I think that this really just gives the house its personal little attitude and doesn't make it seem too much like a blank canvas. So the ceilings themselves have been not painted, and you can just see the pure concrete, and this just creates this very industrial, loft-like design. And now, this is exactly what I talked about. So through the large stairs, we actually get into this very long hallway, and this hallway leads us to the tract where the 2 primary bedrooms are located, as well as the rooftop terrace that is incredible. And so here we have a large empty hallway that has completely been painted in white, and to both sides we just always have these large tall Georgian artists that just beautifully frame this area. And you can just see that when the architect created the space, he just really always had the outside view in mind. Because when you look over here, you have a large window that opens up to the hills of Georgia. Now, over here we have the first ensuite bedroom, and it is just absolutely incredible. Here again, we can see a very subtle use of color. So all of the walls have been painted in this bluish gray color that just really creates a very calming atmosphere. Below the bed, we have this very thick, large, heavy knitted carpet that just really adds this sense of texture to the design, and that just fully creates it. And I know I've said this already a few times in this house, but this incredible armchair by Arne Jacobsen is also one of my favorite designs. And if you take a look at the top, you can see that a historic Georgian carpet has been used as an artwork. And I always really love it when typical items are just used in an unconventional way, like hanging a carpet on the wall. It is super cool. Over here, we also have our own little terrace that overlooks the proper rooftop terrace, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you, so you'll have to wait a bit. And of course, because this is an ensuite bedroom, we have our own walk-in closet that leads us into the bathroom. And behind it, we have this smaller bathroom that is super minimal. There's no color, the walls are white, the floor is black, and it just kind of seems like a very reduced and refined space. Now, let me show you the second ensuite bedroom before we go to the rooftop terrace. This design is really just kept in a lot of different shades of gray, and everything is very minimalistic and very kind of moody almost. And the yellow lamp, as well as this large carpet that has been used as an artwork, is just what really makes this design pop and just creates the sense of color and that something is happening in this room. Comment below, actually, I would be really interested if you like more reduced color palettes like these, or if you prefer more colorful homes. A fun little detail that I like is that behind this wall, the walk-in wardrobe is actually hiding, but you can go in from this side, take care of all of your things, and then when you're done and dressed, you can just come out again from this side. So I think having these two entryways just makes it really fun and also gives like a couple who lives here, for example, two separate entrances to their shared wardrobe. Behind this wall, the bathroom is hiding, and this bathroom is completely covered in black. You can really see that here we have a much more reduced color palette to the rest of the home. The tiles on the wall are black, the tiles on the floor are black, all of the like amenities and towels that are hanging, everything is black, and it just creates this very moody and almost like dark atmosphere. Now, let me show you the star of the home, and that is the incredible rooftop terrace. Come with me. Now, it is really bright up here, but what we're going to do is that I told you about this bridge that is above the pool. So we are actually going to go up on top of the building that has been placed above the pool. Let me show you. And this is where the incredible rooftop terrace is, where you can look over the entirety of Georgia almost. The country isn't too big. So here it is, and I think it is really cool. So on the back, we actually have a large terrace. But then this part, like the bridge that bridges the two buildings together, has just been turned into a large terrace, almost kind of like your own private viewpoint. There's a dog barking downstairs. And this is just where it's absolutely incredible, because you can literally see the entire city, and if to the left and to the right, you can just see these completely empty mountains that just create this incredible architecture. And I wish I could stay for the sunset, because I can imagine that it is just absolutely gorgeous. So as soon as I entered this ground floor, I was overwhelmed because there's just so much going on. But I think what the designer did really well is that even though he built a very modern and grand house for himself, he didn't lose touch of his own roots, and he still really managed to incorporate all of these historic furniture items that he grew up with into the design. Let me show you. So when we enter, to our left, we have a very large mirror, and in front of it, we have two different lounge chairs sitting. And this just creates a beautiful and modern, sleek entry area. Next to it, there is a hidden closet where you can put all of your clothes and hang all of your jackets. But where it gets really interesting is over here. So over here, we have a white Carrara marble table that has been designed especially for this house. All of the historic pieces of furniture that we can see in the ground floor are actually pieces of the owner from his former parents' house where he grew up with. And so I think it's always really amazing if you manage to keep your family treasures and just honor them by integrating them into your design so that they can last for generations. Over here, below the staircase, we have another seating area, also of a historic Georgian sofa that the owner grew up with. And surrounding them, we have two Bertoya diamond chairs, which are really gorgeous, and they just create this very strong industrial design with their mesh metal shape. And what I really love about these chairs is that on the one side, they're really industrial and rough because they consist literally just of raw, shiny metal. But on the other side, they have this very elegant, feminine curve to them, and this just creates a great contrast. Now, let me show you the two bedrooms that are also located in the ground floor. So through this hallway, you can really see that the owner built this house for himself because we have a lot of custom built items and built-in pieces. For example, this entire wall is also covered in this gorgeous dark wood, and it just creates this really incredible design. I already mentioned that he spends the summer months here with his kids and with his family, and I can imagine that these are more of the kids' rooms. So this is the first bedroom, and it is an absolute dream of a gorgeous modern bedroom. It has this very moody and modern design because we have all of these different browns and beiges and dark green colors that just create this very layered color palette and this just very relaxed atmosphere that doesn't overwhelm the space. You should be able to feel the atmosphere of where this house or where the place is located just by the design. So I think it is always really important to either use local materials or local artists. One thing I really love about this bedroom is that here we have this incredible MB lounge chair by Corbusier, and it just has this very playful design and an incredible curve, and it is super cool. And of course, when we look outside, we can see the top of trees that just add this beautiful green scenery. On the other side of the bedroom, we have a large walk-in wardrobe where you can store all of your things. The family actually sometimes rents this apartment out whenever they are not here, which is quite often. Now, let me show you the bathroom that is meant for these two bedrooms and for any guests. So this is the bathroom. Over here we have the bathroom for the ground floor, and it is just an absolute masterpiece of combining colors. You know I love color, which is also why I created a color course to teach you all about how to create amazing color palettes. And this bathroom is just an incredible example because the walls are clad in these large, shiny, bright green tiles that have this bluish undertone, and then to just create this incredible sense of pop and contrast, the rest of the walls are colored in this dark, rich red color, and it just really creates this clash of two colors that lie on the polar opposite of the color wheel, and it just creates this very intense and modern and also kind of industrial atmosphere. Opposite of the bathroom, we already enter the second bedroom. This is the second bedroom. We have this very pared down, reduced, gorgeous color palette that just creates this really strong sense of calm. And the one thing that really pops and also connects the two bedrooms with each other is this really fun painting. So yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely go like and leave a subscribe, and we have so many more incredible apartments that we already filmed and will continue filming, so you can be really excited for every Saturday.